Hey guys, this is Slifer Maniac, and I'm going putting introducing to you guys my GOZABURO KAIBA deck profile. Now we are virtually and remorselessly leaving the deck master archetype because this deck profile does not include any deck masters. The last duel, which was dropped into the cyber virtual world deck in between GOZABURO KAIBA and the stepson or adoptive son Seto KAIBA, was played without any deck profiles. What can I reveal about GOZABURO? As I already mentioned right now, he was the adoptive father from Seto KAIBA, who losing against in a chess game against his adoptive son. First of all, and review a child of the orphan home, which was of course Seto KAIBA, and promise as an exchange or bet that if Seto KAIBA wins the game, then GOZABURO has immediately to adopt him and his brother Mokuba KAIBA as a bet. Eventually Seto, like you can guess on the outcome, did win this match, and GOZABURO agreed to adopt the both of them as a result of that. So he educated him as well as Mokuba to very well educated and decent, respectful persons, as well as of course he wanted to make one of the persons especially Seto, to an maybe successor of his own company, as his own real son had this accident. First of all, he thought he could maybe just educate Seto KAIBA in order to challenge his own son and make him concurrence and motivate him on this matter, because he was Noah KAIBA was very lazy and a preposterous person, I think. Lazy and just lazy, but also he wasn't at that time of a ambitious person. He had everything which he did not earn, and so everything felt into his toes without him giving anything for it or doing anything. So he was a very upset, spoiled child, if you might say. But okay, this which leads us to this matter. Of course, GOZABURO was overthrown by Seto and the Big Five, of course, in the conspiracy events. And then Mokuba was also set up from GOZABURO to join this, from Seto to join this matter, since Mokuba held, I think, 2% of the KAIBA Corporation, and was eventually the very person which made it possible that Seto and the Big Five were succeeding in overthrowing GOZABURO. Shortly after that, Seto KAIBA gained and overtook all by himself, which he did promise the big five he wouldn't. He wouldn't reign alone. He would share the reign with them. But shortly after he decided not to. So they also were fired one after another, and then joined GOZABURO, who had fled shortly before. Now, on to the monsters, of course, like you guys might see on the front deck, the significant monster, and introducing at the same time simultaneously, was the Black Exodia, or Exodia Necros, which is just summoned with an spell card, and on the condition that all 5 Exodia pieces are currently on the graveyard of the player who possesses Exodia Necros. Now, you 5 Exodias he had also in his deck, as I just said, and he needs to get them into the graveyard. And then, if you have the spell card, which it's not a ritual spell card, but on the condition that you have 5 Exodia pieces in the graveyard, it's called the Contract of Exodia, which will be coming then later on. And then you can special summon this one. And as long as the 5 Exodia pieces are in the existing in the graveyard, Exodia Necros gains 500 attack points each step, as well as it can't be destroyed by battle, neither nor by spell or trap cards. So you might say it's virtually invincible, but yeah. The weakness of this card unfolds itself as Seto Kaiba is battling with GOZABURO on the very epic match. He removes with Soul Release the 5 Exodia pieces, and Exodia Necros then eventually was defeated. Yeah, so further on, of course, Exodia Necros and 5 Exodia pieces. One card which he did not possess, but I put in there, was the legendary incarnation of Exodia. It was not shown in his deck list, neither nor in the anime, but I thought it would be a good possibility as a trump card, since GOZABURO was a very good tactician, but Seto at last was better. Yeah, and the reincarnation of Exodia has the condition of you have to tribute one of those monsters, of those one of the Exodia pieces, in order to special summon this card from your hand. It gets 1000 attack stats for every Exodia piece in your graveyard, and it's damaged from any other card effects. And you can put one of the Exodia pieces per step onto your hand. So eventually, even if this card is very strong, but eventually you can get every Exodia piece from the graveyard to your hand, so that at least after 5 steps you can win the game. So it's not that bad. It's a very good trump card. You can of course combine these 5 and then have Exodia Necros, and if you do not accomplish the game win with this combination, if this card is removed or destroyed by any other way, you have still these 5 Exodia pieces in there. Or maybe if it is not that strong in comparison to another opponent's monster, then you can special summon still this card, and then put the 5 steps on you into your hand, for example. Now, further on, he had a couple of cards which he had used as a cyber virtual foot soldier. So in the cyber world arc, of course, the monsters were very real, occurring into the battles as real monsters as well. As GOZABURO wanted to destroy the companions of Yugi and also as well as Seto. He had, I think, the Tainted Wisdom was there. I put it in there, of course, 3 times because it doesn't make sense. 2 times the Skull Knight, which were also, I think, shown in this deck list. 3 times the Lizard Soldier, as well as 3 times the Ancient Brain. All, or most of the cards were, I think, even shown in the anime, but some were not. So yeah. Those which were not were, of course, on this deck list. Then, of course, Stone Arjogrodi, as well as the Destroyer Golem. I think the Destroyer Golem wasn't on this deck list, but I think it fits with the Stone Arjogrodi. Cosmo Queen, one of those cards which were also one of his foot soldiers, or used in terms of foot soldier. Valkyrie Knight, which was on his deck list, as well as Raining Knight, I think it is called. Yeah. Yeah, that was all of his monster cards. Now on to the spell cards. As I already said and revealed to you guys, Contract of Exodia is very significant to his deck. As a matter of fact, for his baselines, in order to special summon his Exodia Necros card. That I put also in there Painful Choice, which of course was played out on the purpose of getting at least 4 or 5 Exodia pieces into the graveyard of your own graveyard. And then he had 3 times even the Exodia contract with Exodia. Then further on, I put in there the Gold Sarcophagus in order to, of course, for example, getting the Exodia Necros into your hand. Dark Factory of Mass Production. You can put 2 normal monsters from your graveyard into your hand. That would be 1 engine on getting those Exodia pieces from the graveyard back to your hand, and if you have it 2 or 3 times, and you eventually can catch up with the mechanics on getting all 5 Exodia pieces onto your hand and eventually succeeding by winning this duel. Unexpected Day for a normal 4 stars monster, which you can special summon, I think from your deck. Yeah, 4 or lower. Remove Trap, I thought maybe because he was a very cunning, crafty character, you could have, of course, such engines in order to get rid of any traps. Also, I put in there Deck Blockade, which I thought would be also tricky and appropriate. Different Dimension Capsule. Thus, he wanted to, of course, get specific cards from the deck onto his hand, like Exodia Necros and others. As well as I put in there Dark Core in order to get rid of one of the opponent's monsters. Enemy Controller, which is a significant Seto Kaiba card, but yeah, I thought he was always talking of enemies and getting control over them, so I think it would be appropriate. Another very devious card, of course, Shrink. You might not expect it if you have a stronger monster, then this card will be eternal or occurrence of eternal events, for example, against your opponent. Then, as of course, his plan was designed as a revenge, I thought the Hidden Teeth of the Revenge card would be appropriate henceforth, because of its name. I thought for stalling power, sorts of revealing light. Of course, mystical space typhoon for the aim for destroying one spell or trap card on the field. Hammer shoot since you want to maybe destroy one opponent's monster. Then I thought also card shuffle. I think maybe this one perhaps was on the deck list, but I'm not sure. If you have really a bad cards in your hand, then you maybe can mix up the deck and then draw better cards, for example. And of course also, oh god, I don't know, I just forgot about something with Boreal is called not premature Boreal, but foolish Burial, of course. For the strategy to put one of your monsters from the deck to the graveyard, for example, one of the Exodia pieces, you can put with that possibility to your graveyard, and then of course you have one more which you can then maybe get back or to your hand, or for example make the completion perfect with the 4 other pieces you had put in there by the engine of painful choice, for example. Yeah, that's it about the spells. Now we're getting closer to the traps. Trap cards wasn't, I think, shown any in the anime, but were some of in his deck lists. First of all, which wasn't in his deck list, was very fitting into his deck, is of course delete or destroy. I don't know what it's called in English, but you can on every round get an Exodia card from your hand or deck onto the graveyard, and then you can put it from your hand or the graveyard to your hand back, and if it is destroyed, then you can take another forbidden card from that graveyard or deck to your hand. So it of course works very good with this engine. Raigeki Break, a card which was shown in this deck list. You can destroy one card on the field. Divine Rage was also on his deck list. I think it has the ability to block an effect, I think, of an effect monster and destroy it. Then, and as Seto Kaiba's opinion about Gozaburo was he's a bluffing person which bluffs very much and blunders. I put in there 2 times Fake Trap, so that he might irritate your opponent by setting trap cards were not actually real trap cards on that occasion. Then of course Mirror Force, one standard trap card, which is very handy. Reckless Greed, in order to draw your Exodia pieces maybe, or other cards, maybe come at least get nearer to your goal, getting all the Exodia pieces or Exodia Necros, or maybe reincarnation of Exodia. Then if you have to defend yourself, of course, Call of the Haunted. You can special summon one of the monsters from the graveyard to the field. And last but not least, as a attack blocking negate engine, the Earth Shaker. Now, this was all about this deck. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Of course, hit the like and subscribe button. Stay tuned for more content. And I'm so pleased. Just one deck is left into this arc, and then we will be leaving this arc and get to the Orichalcus Saga finally. I think I will be doing this video right away because I cannot wait to finish this arc, so I'm saying you're Slifer Maniac. Of course, comment down below and tell me your critiques or your stances, and I will be pleased to reading them. And on to the next one. The next and the last one of this arc is the deck profile from Tristan Taylor. So long, your Slifer Maniac.